Aries, welcome to your January 2023 intuitive astrology forecast, horoscope, angel scopes. What I'm going to do today is go over the first month of 2023, the aspects that will be, or the transits that'll be happening in the skies that are going to directly affect you and tee up your experience or the potentials for what you'll experience in the year 2023. And I think the most exciting thing about this is Jupiter re-entering or re-entered Aries on December 20th, 2022, and will continue through Aries until May 15th, 2023. So this first 5 months of the year is really an opportunity to anchor in new beliefs about yourself, about who you are, your perceptions in the world, what you believe in yourself. Gives you an opportunity to expand on whatever entrepreneurial endeavors you want to birth into the material world. It also feels as if it gives you this sort of, I feel almost as if there is going to be a series of inspirations, epiphanies, things that sort of reflect old patterns, but not in a way that feels like it's anchoring you into any anger or resentment or challenging emotions that you may have felt in previous chapters of your life. I feel like this is really the possibility for a rebirth. And part of that is because of Mars being retrograde for the last a total of 7 months between 2022 and then the beginning of 2023, where Mars will, after going retrograde, will turn direct on January 12th. Mars is your ruling planet. Mars is considered the warrior, considered aggressive, blunt, really moving very, very quickly. And having gone through Gemini, which is also a sign that likes to move quickly, there's been this frustration that's been brewing. But I think that it's given Aries an opportunity to really decide what kind of warrior you want to be. Do you just want to be the banshee that runs into the village and, beheads everybody and pillages and runs out? Or do you want to be the spiritual, peaceful warrior that is aware of how you and your vibration lands on other people? And in doing so, you become very inspirational. And what you find is people connecting with you in a much more supportive way than you may have experienced in previous chapters of your life. Because the year starting off with Mars and Mercury retrograde is going to really, the first couple of weeks of January are going to feel sluggish. They're going to feel almost like, ugh. But I don't think this is a negative thing. Mars is retrograde in your third house of Gemini. Again, this is giving you an opportunity to review how you're speaking with your team, how you're acting within the team, what you're learning from your team, what you're teaching your team. And when I say your team, I mean the people that you interact with every day. This could be your siblings, it could be your teammates at work, it could be your neighbors, your community. Gemini rules so many, many things. It could be about your communications and how you're responding via text or email, and maybe starting to infuse more of the what appears to be flowery type of salutations and greetings rather than just cutting to the chase. On the 2nd/3rd of January, Venus will move into Aquarius. And, I'm not really sure that I think Venus likes being in Capricorn that much. She becomes very somber. She becomes very aware of money and finances and how she's being perceived in the outside world. When she gets into Aquarius, she gets to express a more quirky side of herself. She gets to play on the internet with things that intrigue her. She gets to open up to new possibilities that maybe she hadn't considered before. So I think this in your 11th house is going to give you an opportunity to expand your reach on your platforms, the internet, whichever platforms you may use of social media, and also expand your faith in your hopes and your dreams and what you want to experience from your efforts on this planet. The 11th house by nature is what they call an upachaya house. So it matures over time and offers reward for Saturn's influence, where Saturn wants you to continue on regardless of any obstacles that come into your path. And as you do that, Saturn rewards. And I believe Saturn is very much asking to be renovated. Saturn has been in Aquarius for quite some time and will continue through Aquarius. I don't quite have the date here. It's going to move into Pisces. And this is when it moves into Pisces, we're going to see an opportunity to really master our spirituality and the things that we have garnished, the epiphanies, the experiences that we've had while Saturn has gone through Aquarius. And now Venus being there, she's starting to really renovate her self-worth. She's starting to stretch herself and think, you know what, if I don't just worry about me, but I kind of broaden my scope, it gives the cosmic consciousness an opportunity to support my endeavors and give me the signs and the omens that anchor me into the physical experience moving forward. On January 6th, we're going to have a full moon in Cancer. I will be doing a separate video that will address this, but that will be in your 4th house of home. So there's going to be some sort of opportunity for Aries to have a culmination. Something comes, a conclusion is drawn. And what I think this is going to be about for Aries is about trusting your intuition. I think Aries tends to move so quickly sometimes that it doesn't realize how intuitive it is. It sees the mission, it sees the emergency, Aries is a bit of an adrenaline junkie, and so being a rescue worker, you go into a high chaotic situation and you don't necessarily get to think it through. So now I think that as we see this full moon, Aries is going to get an opportunity to look at how much you're using your intuition with intention versus just kind of depending upon it in high stress situations. How are you connecting with your team of heavenly hosts? Because as Jupiter is moving through your 1st house of self, there's an anchoring of that connection or the potential of it as you extend an invitation and then are able to be, I want to use the word patient as you develop your communication skills with that which you cannot see. I oftentimes refer to it, it's like having an animal. We have a dog. When we first get the dog, there's this getting to know you where you learn how the dog communicates without verbiage, without words. So you're going to do the same thing with my brain isn't working, with your connection with the other side. On the 21st, we are going to have a new moon in Aquarius. And again, I'm going to be doing a separate video to address the specifics of that. But I think this is super important. At this point, now the sun and the moon are together in Aquarius, joining Venus and Saturn to really anchor in these innovative ways of addressing how you want to move your story forward. I kind of always think of as Aquarius and I see the Starship Enterprise going where no man has gone before. And I can't help but think again that the 11th house is this upachaya house that offers reward with the tenacity to continue forward. And sometimes Aries has a little bit of trouble with follow through. All these great inspirations come through. And yet when we get into the minutia of the journey, that period when there is really no manifestation and we're still doing the hard work of believing in ourselves, Aries can sometimes take a left turn. And I want to encourage you to stay the course. We have been going through a series of new moons that are at the 1st degrees. We had the Sagittarius new moon in 2022 that I believe was at 1 degree Sagittarius. Then we have the new moon in Capricorn, which is at 1 degree Capricorn. And then this new moon is at 1 degree Aquarius. This feels, and we will in February have a Pisces new moon at 1 degree Pisces. This feels, the first degree is the Aryan degree. So it's a series of opportunities to be brave and courageous as you assess your own thinking, your own process moving forward. Because there's a moment when Aries can be right, but will it really serve the outcome you're looking for? Because being right doesn't always equate to being happy. Finally, we will see Venus enter Pisces, your 12th house, at the end of January. It's going to be around the 27th, depending on where you are in the world. And Venus is at home with her best friend, having a wonderful glass of wine and talking about all her dreams and her hopes moving forward for the year. And I feel for my Aries, this is an opportunity to really, again, sort of start the month with this intention to be aware of your energy, aware of how you're landing on other people. And as a result of that, I believe you're going to have a positive experience, or one that supports this new version of yourself that is the peaceful warrior versus the aggressive energy. And so having Venus in your sign, or in the sign of Pisces in your 12th house, is this opportunity to really revel within your imagination, to enjoy dance and poetry and creativity, and using those as vessels for meditation and connection to spirit. I believe that music is the language of spirit. And so when you allow yourself to work off some of that Martian energy in the form of dance, and therefore you are connecting with spirit and also anchoring that experience into your physical world. So I think we're going to see January giving us more and more opportunities as we get deeper into the month. I would offer you a little patience with yourself if things feel just a little bit slow at the beginning of the year. I keep thinking it's like a sugar hangover, from all the holidays. And I also want to say this: I wouldn't create any New Year's resolutions that feel too far outside the box. And I say this like, I don't know how if you want to lose weight or you want to start an exercise regime. I think being able to say, I'm just going to take it one day at a time, rather than making a big, huge, sweeping declaration and then setting yourself up to feel defeated by it. The beginning of the year with Mars and Mercury being retrograde feels like it's more about taking things and strategically planning a even-keeled pace. It doesn't mean you have to go at a snail's pace, but trying to race forward could end up in some frustration. All right, that's it for my Aries for January 2023. Please hit that like button, comment, share, and join me on Sunday mornings. I'm starting back on Sundays at 11 a.m. on January 8th. The team and I are taking off the end of December 2022 for the holidays. And so I hope you'll join me there, where we will get the angels' advice for traversing the week's transits. Again, my name is Teri Hunter. If you'd like to book a session with me, my information is below and I am available. So have a great January, Aries, and I will see you soon. Peace out.